Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. There's at least two, let's put it this way, at least two instances when a country borrows money or an institution, a business borrows money. One is when the business sees an opportunity, but it doesn't have the capital. Then it borrows money or it goes on the stock market and it's starting with some shares, sells some shares in a company and all that. That's one. That's a good one. That's a good thing. They go and borrow money, they invest in the company, and then with the opportunity that they seize, they're going to profit, they're going to expand. That's the good one. The other one, when you borrow money, is when you work in a deficit and you can't pay your creditors or you can't pay your employees. And then you borrow money to hope that you can make it and strike it big in the near future where you're going to repay the loans that you took. These are the two main reasons when a company or a country borrows money. Now, we're not going to get the one with the opportunity. With the opportunity, you understand it. It's fantastic, excellent decision. The second one, when that means that you must have done something wrong that you can't compete. You can't support yourself. You're not profitable. And that is because either something changed in the economic environment that you live in and you are incapable of adjusting, and that's also your fault, the managers and the planners and so on. Therefore, you're going to borrow money. So that's an impotence coming from the leaders, not from the guys who work. They work, it's like a machine. You plan all those contracts and all the deliveries and you expand, you find new markets. Okay? That's the job of the guys up top. The same is with a country. When a country borrows money because it sees an opportunity to invest, or investors come in and invest in your country because your economic system and environment is profitable, that means low business taxes and other perks, you're going to have a booming economy and you're going to have people that are going to work and they're trained and disciplined. You know what I mean, discipline? Okay, people showing up and doing a good job, efficiency, like the German Deutsche Volk. All right, now we have this problem with Spain, right? So that's the one when you see an opportunity. The other one, I'm talking about the countries when they don't have money. So they have a shitty situation. They can't figure out what's going on, and they have a population that's going to be starving. And you're going to get in debt because you are impotent to provide an environment and other ways of, providing opportunities for the workers, for your population. Now, this is what we're talking about right now in Spain. So this is what Spain does, among others. Germany does the same thing. I think they borrowed like $200 billion or something for emergency something, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let's go with Spain now. This article comes from Sputnik. It is from today, the 27th of December, 2022. Spain unveils new aid package worth $10.6 billion to help cover basic expenses. So that tells me this. You, the Spanish leaders, are idiots. You fucked up real bad. Now the population is starving. And what do? Because you can't fix it. You can't adjust to the environment, the economic environment that is there because of, let me think, okay? Now what do? You go and borrow money to pay, to give them extra money. That's what you do. Robin Hood, not even, because there you have the productive segment of the population who has jobs, can keep a job. They will pay with the taxes and their kids will gonna pay with the taxes. And these guys that unfortunately, maybe they're in dire straits right now because they have some situation, I understand that, but there's some habitual people that just stay home and get their checks. I know that from the United States of America. There are some of those, okay? Dependency. The cycle of dependency. But anyway, let's see what the Spaniards are doing. Madrid. The Spanish government presented on Tuesday a new aid pack, so it was an old one, worth 10 billion euros. That's $10.6 billion. The Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said would help those vulnerable navigate the cost of living crisis. Why do you have a living crisis? Pedro? May I ask? Pedro Sanchez? Because you are a loser. You couldn't take care of your kids, which is your state. That's why you're over there, Pedro, Prime Minister. Out! Someone who can provide something better in. Oh no, we gotta wait your term to expire? Weasel. Anyway, and I'm quoting here. We have already allocated more than 35 billion euros. What, allocate means? That you planned to give. From where, I would like to know, Pedro Sanchez, and are adding another 10 billion. So that's gonna make it, 45 billion as part of this aid package. A total of 45 billion has been disbursed to protect the middle and working class in the face of a rise in the cost of living, energy and food, end quote. So he's going to be seen as the hero, but actually he's not the hero, he's the loser, because his policies as the prime minister failed in the face of the crisis. So he brings the money in, which is going to be inflation, and eventually the money is going to be getting dry, or dry up. We like it dry anyway. So here is, and wine I was talking about. So you have it like that, and then what? If you don't create a healthy business environment, you can borrow until the cows come home, and you're still gonna be going down, down, down. Eventually you're gonna hit the bottom, and then what? You know what? Then you're gonna be about 80 and you're gonna die or retire, and you're gonna say, your family say, yes, remember our grandparent or the ancestor, yes, Pedro Sanchez, yeah man, he was a smart guy, man. Yeah, he was a smart guy fooling your fellow citizens. That's how he was. He was a loser, that's what he was, because he couldn't figure out how to maneuver during the crisis but borrowing. That's the easiest way. I can do that. Put me over there. Hey, I want money. Collateral, people, buildings, whatever you want. Give me the money. And hey, I'm the hero. I give you money. Here, give money for everybody. That's not how it works. That's the communist way. Oh my God, I attack the communists again. I have some friends here who take me to task every time I mention the communists. Anyway, I like it. I don't mind. Bring arguments and we can have a healthy, direct conversation. The newly adopted assistance program includes scrapping the value-added tax on such staple foods as bread and milk. Yeah, and who's going to pay for that? You have private companies that if you don't do that, how do you get your revenue back? Government, not through taxes. So it's like it's like a revolving door. I give you here, but I take it. Anyway, VAT on oil and pasta will be reduced from 10% to 5%. So you're going to have less revenue, government, but you're going to borrow money to make the revenue. And you look good. I'm bringing money. I'm slashing taxes. Yes. Anyway, and that's a tax on products. That's not a tax that will create a healthy economic environment. No. That's just going to prolong the thing, because from 5 they're going to go to 2 and so on. And they're going to go to 0. And how are you going to get your revenue? You tell me. Borrowing. And then what? The creditors are going to knock at your door one day and going to say, I want your money. And say, well, I don't have any. Okay, then we're going to take this, and we're going to take that, we're going to take that, and you're going to be in debt to some international banking systems, banking houses. Or the IMF is going to show up and is going to solve your life as they always do. Show me one example when they solve it. IMF or how do you call that? World Bank, the two weasels. Anyway, electricity and gas rebates. Again, rebates. Someone's paying for that, and that's from the money, the aid. Will be extended for another 6 months, while rent increases will be capped at 2% until the end of the year. Landlords will also be prohibited from evicting vulnerable families. And how in the fuck are they going to make money? You're going to hurt exactly the guys who have those houses, who worked for those houses, who borrowed money to get those houses, to save their money and then bought those houses in order to give them to some others to rent and have somewhere to live. And if they're not going to get the revenue, and they will have taxes and they will have their own expenses, you're gonna kill these guys. What are these guys gonna do? Try to sell the apartments. To whom? To some bigger guys. Therefore, you're gonna create monopolies. Great job, great job. Households earning less than 27,000 euros a year will be eligible for 200 euros in assistance funding next year. The government estimates that some 4.2 million families will benefit from this one-off payment from January 1. If this is temporary, and they say it is, and then everything is going to be solved, I want to hear what the plan is. How are you? And I want to hear it. You're going to say, okay, 6 months. In 6 months, I don't want to hear any justifications, oh my God, it's because of this. No, I don't want to hear whining in 6 months. In 6 months after this aid ends, you have time to create the right environment through policies, okay, not through restrictions like you do here and regulations and bullshit. And in 6 months, you are not going to need to borrow more, which you will do. I guarantee you that. You got even more than $45 billion. I'm right here. You're going to see me in 6 months if we're still alive. But anyway, and YouTube is not going to, if you know what I mean, go bankrupt. Let's put it this way. So I'm going to wait for that. But it's just extending the fall. I want to see what's happening. And in 6 months, you know what they're going to say? They said the crisis changed. They're going to move the goalpost and they'll say, well, now it's different. We didn't calculate for this. We didn't plan for this. Well, it's too bad you didn't. That means you're still dumb because you're incapable of figuring things out and think ahead and plan for if this happens, this consequence happens, and this consequence happens. So it's still coming to you. But the wizard's going to be, can I have more money? Yeah, here it is. Actually, let me put your pocket right here. Okay, here's money for you because you're going to pay for it later with interest. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.